Summer Game Fest and its surrounding events came and went, and we ended up getting Silksong news. More like a bit of footage and some clarifications from Leth, but to be totally fair, it's still news and it's a lot more than what we got in the past. Would it technically be more than what we got with Nintendo? I'd say so, unless you really take it by volume. But before I actually get into that, I do want to address you guys, any Silksong fan from the Discord, from YouTube, from anywhere, because I've heard some, once again, some really bad stuff while, browsing the discussions on the Discord. And that is that, once again, Team Cherry and Leth and, even Jeff and Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, are getting death threats because of supposedly companies using Team Cherry and Silksong to promote their thing. Now, Deadpool taking in, and I'll talk about this in just a bit, Deadpool taking it and using the Silksong name without Team Cherry seemingly knowing anything, because at least that's what Leth said, is a bit of an a-hole move in my opinion, because you genuinely used it for publicity. But anyway, we'll talk about it in just a bit. But yeah, please, guys, stop it. It's a video game created by a team of 3 people. But would you want your every single move be criticized and talked about on the internet in a bad manner just because you want to focus on creating the best possible video game you could make? I understand the frustrations of people waiting for Silksong for 6 years at this point, but that doesn't mean that death threats are okay. They're never okay. I hope things will calm down. They will calm down in the next couple days, that's for certain, but I'm genuinely scared if we do get another showcase and another tease of Silksong and people start going at it again. So, we didn't get anything during the State of Play. It does make a bit of sense. PlayStation hasn't really gotten anything Silksong related, ever. For Summer Game Fest itself, which was next, we did get the Deadpool incident, which, yeah, that was something, I guess. Thank you, Jeff. Then we had the Frosty Game Showcase, which I thought it would happen after the Xbox games, but yeah, it does make sense why it wasn't there, and I'll go into that as well. Then we had the big one, the Xbox Showcase, the one place where everyone thought we would get Silksong news, including a release date. Well, myself included, I thought we would get the release date there, and we didn't, so I believe the game isn't coming out mid-July. At least until mid-July, possibly even later. But yeah, we did get new footage because of the new ROG Xbox Ally, I think it's called, which isn't really an Xbox handheld if you really ask me. It's more like a ROG Ally with an Xbox skin on top of it. But yeah, at least it can play Game Pass games. So that's cool. And then we had the PC gaming show, which I don't think anyone expected Silksong to be there to begin with, but it's good to mention it because it was still part of that sort of Summer Game Fest weekend. So let's take the things that happened one by one. What was the Deadpool situation? Well, Mr. Jeff decided to go ahead and make a little joke when showcasing the Deadpool VR game trailer. To be fair, it's very Deadpool-like to make that kind of meta joke. Oh, skip the Silksong trailer for our game! It's something Deadpool would do, especially knowing how big Silksong is in the online community. If Deadpool existed, he would 100% made that kind of joke for another one of his games. But the thing is, from what Leth said on the Discord, that was a surprise for him and for Team Cherry. So what this tells me is that the developers of the Deadpool game, or the publisher behind it, which I'm not even sure who is developing and publishing it, or Jeff, it's possible this was also Jeff's whole idea. So either the devs behind Deadpool wrote this joke for Jeff to read, which they didn't talk with Team Cherry even in the slightest to ask them, hey, is it okay we do this kind of joke based on your game? Or Jeff went ahead and did that joke, possibly because he didn't get to showcase Silksong again. Because technically that is the truth, because Silksong was at the Xbox Showcase. And the whole thing is now it's Deadpool versus Silksong, which I generally don't think it's that big of a deal, especially if it was a joke made by Jeff himself, which, yeah, kind of a low hit, Jeff, I'm not gonna lie. Now, for the Frosty Games Showcase, I genuinely understand why Silksong was not there, because to be totally fair, Silksong is such a massive game when it comes to its online footprint that, just like a lot of other people said, it would have overshadowed pretty much everything that was at the Frosty Games showcase. I haven't watched it because it was very late for me, and I really should go over the lists of games that were put on all the showcases, because at the State of Play one I did find a couple cool games. But yeah, so Silksong would have overshadowed the other indies from Australia, and to be totally here, I think they wouldn't want to do that. I can also see the other side, which I was arguing, which is if Silksong was at the Frosty Game Showcase, it would have brought a lot more people to watch it, which is true. And what they could have done is, I guess, showcase Silksong at the very end if they really wanted to, or something like that. I don't know, because people would have still watched the other games the same way they would have watched if there was no Silksong. Now with Xbox, we did get the Rogue Xbox Ally trailer, which actually had, I think most of it was footage from Silksong, which is insane when you think about it. And another good thing about having new footage from Xbox is that, well, that is new footage given by Team Cherry, because for people saying Xbox was using Team Cherry and Silksong for their own publicity, well, Team Cherry had to give Xbox the go-ahead and the footage, because Xbox does not own Team Cherry, nor do they own Silksong. So it had to be Team Cherry to give the go-ahead for it to happen. But yeah, let's go over that, because I've been rambling long enough about everything else. Let's go over the new footage. And here we have it. This is from IGN, I believe, yeah, IGN, but I just searched it on YouTube and took the first one that I could find. But yeah, this whole thing starts with like molding the Rogue Ally. I'm not here for that, but this was literally the first frame once it was formed. Well, not really, but like the first frame when the screen went like lit up, which, oh my god, right? Like I saw Silksong and I was like, wait, why is there Silksong there? You know, because I think all of us expected something separate for it. I also should take care of the volume so it's not too loud when I play it. But yeah, to be totally fair, there's not too much at the very beginning. It's just showing it and starting up Silksong, and there's some footage already. Is that a new kind of enemy? Oh, they look weirdly cute. But there's a big one and small ones as well, in an area with lots of tall grass. Now, I wonder if these rings could be later used with the grappling ability. We also see a crest we've seen before, the mask, the special shielded mask, which goes over... I didn't mean to press play, I'm sorry. Which goes over the normal masks. I think we've seen areas surrounding this place. I don't think we've seen the tall grass. Now, I'm not too certain about all the footage we've seen, because to be totally fair, it's been pretty big periods of time between footage reveals, so yeah. Then we have, I guess, again in the same sort of play session, so again, more of the grass area. Once again, I think this is the same footage we had at the very beginning. Yeah, dashing over and attacking them, but it's a bit more clear because it's from a different angle. Man, like every single time I see more of this game, I am more and more excited. Oh, is that an ant? Oh, that's an ant over there. So is this close to the ant area? But then again, it kind of depends if the ants will be a widespread sort of type of enemy, or if they're going to be a lot like the bees, where before you get into the hive in Hollow Knight, you do battle a couple bees, like small bees and stuff like that, until you get into the hive itself and you fight with the bigger bees and whatnot. So I wonder if this is going to be similar to that, or if the ants are actually going to be like sort of an army that's spread throughout Farloom. Did that guy just jump? Oh my god, these guys jump, okay. Some more Rocket Ally stuff. All the Night Silksong. So more of the same footage, I think. Oh, Battle.net. Oh yeah, because it's a rogue ally. This is why I've been saying it's more like a rogue ally with an Xbox skin on it, but... Oh, this is more Silksong stuff. Right. So we're seeing once again the Clockwork-inspired area. More of the grappling hook mechanic, from what I can see. The wall jump. Well, wait. Did she wall climb there? Oh, she jumped up the wall. Okay, so I guess this time you don't really have to jump away from the wall and back into it like in Hollow Knight in order to climb walls. It's possible you just have to maybe press jump without the direction being held and you just go up. Unless you can do that once and then wall jump away from the wall, and that's just how it works. It's going to be interesting to see how the movement for Hornet is going to work at the very end. Now, I'm not sure if this is a new crest, because it does have this little bit at the top. Is it the same? So 115. No, there's actually something new on the crest. So you can see that this is similar, right? But it doesn't have that little bit of metal over here. Right? Is it the same crest though? Or is it a different one? I have a closer look at that specific scene. No, doesn't look like it. But it's a different crest actually. It's different because this one doesn't have the spike on the left side here. Now, for tools, I'm not even gonna try to go into, like, are these going to be new tools or old tools? Like, this one is most likely the syringe, the Life Plus syringe. Because I don't know the tools, I'm sorry guys. So we have Hornet using the grappling mechanic here, climbing up walls. Okay, so we have a little bit of Hornet running. So again, going back to the crest from the previous, like the initial footage, and we have Hornet running around in what seems to be somewhere close to the Forest of Bones. If that down there is lava or hot coals. Plus, this platform looks like bone. And some weird ashy terrain over here. Looks like it's something that's been burned. I think this is either some particles or a bird-like creature. But yeah, unless this is a new area we haven't seen, there's nothing really here, just Hornet jumping. And I think from this point on, we have this, which shows Silksong in the menu again. It does say Holiday 2025, so we know that this is going to be coming out in Holiday 2025. The funny part is, I think it's going to have to compete with like the new Pokemon game. But then again, that's mostly for people who got the Switch 2 as well. Then we have the lady talking about it. We have more Silksong back here. And we have, that's Discord, so it has Discord stuff. And more Silksong. Okay, so this is the same footage, but we have it in HD now, not on a small screen. So again, same things. This looks new-ish. From the looks of the hooks, I think you will be able to use them to travel around in like this direction up here. They're too obvious to, obviously, hook points, right? Like the ones in Ender Magnolia. Yeah. Okay, so this spot over here. Man, the game looks so good in HD. Oh yeah, right, these guys. So this is new. I believe these enemies are entirely new. I don't think we've seen these guys before, but I could also be wrong. So it's new moss enemies. The area looks sort of like a village for these guys, and this looks like a closed door. Well, two closed doors. So I think this is an arena, possibly. Maybe something in like a mossy grotto village for like where there's lots of native bugs. Okay, so wait. So this is this the same thing as when she uses to grapple to walls? So I'm guessing what happens if you hit a wall with that ability, you grapple to it, but if you don't, you pull the nail and deal some damage? That would be an interesting way to include a movement ability as a combat one as well. I guess it's the same way that Pogo was both a movement ability and a combat ability in Hollow Knight. So we have a bunch of critters in the air. These are the details I genuinely love, like the spiders from Deepness going in the foreground. Creepy, but amazing. We have another new mossy enemy over here. I thought initially it's a flying enemy, but I think Bro just jumped off the platform. If we go way back... Yeah, so Bro jumped. I guess jumped again. Oh, could it be that this enemy clinged to the wall? Because he either fell around here and jumped again, but this way, so so the enemy bumped in the wall, or the enemy is able to cling to walls, which could be interesting. And he looks like he's about to shoot something. Oh yeah, he is about to shoot one of those spikes. Okay, the only thing I want to say is a bit weird about this is that this looks like a tool, but the way the enemy shoots it looks to be biological. Like, it's not like he's putting his hand in a pocket or something. It's like rearing back to build pressure into shooting the thing from its mouth or like nose thing, right? And even the animation of it shooting looks exactly like that. Like it just lunged forward to put even more force into the shot. But when you look at the projectile itself, it's more like it's a crafted thing rather than a biological one, because there's this rope here, there's a bit of mucus here, and of course the tip of it, which looks a lot like the materials around this village area. But yeah, it could, like, if the enemy had this for its nose before it shot it, I could see it how they attached existing material to the mucus that's within their noses to create a projectile to shoot at people, but you know, it doesn't do that. More Silksong on the menu, bunch of people, more Silksong on the left here. Yeah. People playing the Rogue Ally and a bunch of other games, Game Pass, and I think this is it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Silksong in the Xbox showcase. Again, there was a lot of footage. Like, technically speaking, if I think everything is new here, I don't think this is footage we've seen before. So that's cool. We got possibly a new crest. I'm not sure if the one with the little tidbit of metal at the top is new. But yeah, most likely there's a bunch of new tools in here. Again, I'm not sure which tools are new and which are old. We got to see new enemies. We got to see new areas. We got to speculate on whether or not the ants are all throughout Farthermore in a specific area like the bees. And we did get the whole thing to be a bit more like, hey, this is 100% coming before holiday 2025. So it's not going to be on Christmas Day, you go get Silksong. Speaking of which, Leth did come out in Primacom's chat and on the Discord to do a couple statements. These were... I'm not sure if this was prompted by Silksong not being there or by him going on the Discord to see how people are reacting to the Xbox footage, because technically the Xbox footage should have been known to him and Team Cherry. It should have been something that they signed off on. So yeah, first let's go over what he said in the Primacom chat, that Team Cherry might not want to do a demo build for Acme. until this point, we're under the impression, or at least speculating, that since Acme is getting a build, what kind of build will it be? Will it be the 2019 build? Will it be the 2019 build but updated? Will it, with like, you know, the graphics and everything, you know, everything added on top of it? Will it be the full game, or will it be a new demo? Now, from what Leth has said, it's quite possible that what Acme will get is going to be the full game. Now, this entirely depends on Team Cherry wanting or not to do a new demo build. But this, together with the fact that the game is not tied to a console releasing, so of course it wasn't tied to the Switch 2, and now it's confirmed it's not tied to the Rogue Ally, so we don't have to wait for that console to release before we get Silksong. The game will also be out before holiday 2025. Later, he did say before Christmas, but initially he said before holidays. Which, to be fair, it kind of depends, the length of time of the holidays kind of depends on where you live. For example, it's possible that Americans might have a longer period because of Thanksgiving, which I think is before Halloween, right? Halloween does enter within holidays, in my opinion, so we should get Silksong before Halloween. Now, it's possible that he said Christmas because he meant Christmas, or in order to not be like, yeah, the game's coming out sometime in September or August, possibly. To not give out even a shorter period of time. Now, there's no real way to knowing if that's the case, unless we just ask him, and Leth most likely will not answer to like, hey, did you mean holiday by Christmas, or did you go with the Christmas thing to hide the fact that it could be out by August? So yeah, with all of this, we got quite a bit of new footage, like 10 seconds I think people were saying. I haven't counted it though. We did get a bunch of statements from Leth, which, if we take it at face value, and he did mean Christmas, that means that the window of release has lowered by like a week. So it's from now until December 24th, pretty much. But if we take it as the holidays, it's possible it could release in August or September before Acme. With the fact that Acme might not have a demo and it could be the full build, that I feel like leads into two situations. One, Team Cherry's still working on the game and doesn't really have time to make a demo build, or they just don't want to make a demo build altogether. And I feel like this could also mean that the game could come out before Acme even more. Like, there's even more evidence that the game could come out before Acme. Because if the build there is the full build, like the truly full build, just like the same way speedrunners were able to beat Tears of the Kingdom on the demo thing for Switch 2, could you beat Silksong if you're fast enough on the Acme build? That could be insane, and we could see someone try to do that, like speedrunning Hollow Knight Silksong on the Acme exhibition, you know? That would be funny, I'm not gonna lie. And you would have a decent amount of time, depending on how quick the speedrun is after the first 2 months or so of the game being out. But yeah, I don't know, I could do another release speculation, but to be fair, it's the same thing. We didn't get anything now, so I feel like my June to mid-July release is kind of like gone, unless we get something in the next 2 weeks from Team Cherry themselves, which is always a possibility. And when is Gamescom happening, actually? Okay, so Gamescom 2025 is going to be happening from August 20th to 24th. And it starts on the 19th with opening night live. So, hear me out, people. Silksong at Gamescom? Okay, this is just predicting based on the fact that it's in like late August and giving 2 weeks from like the 19th. If it appears in opening night, it would be pretty much like a week before Acme starts to give or a week or two before Acme starts to give players time to actually play Silksong. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting summer anyway. There's Grounded 2 coming out in early access, and I'm excited for that. I'm not gonna play it while it's in early access because I don't play early access titles until they release. But yeah, there's a bunch of cool games. If you're really interested in cool games, do go through the list of games that were showcased at the State of Play throughout and up throughout the PC Gaming Show, because there were a bunch of really cool games, including a new game from the devs of Spiritfarer, which I am genuinely excited for that. So yeah, we got news, we got from Xbox and from Leth, and the window got narrowed by like a week, which is still something. No release date yet, which is a bit weird, because they could have just given us the release date and be done with it. And yeah, the game is still coming out in 2025, there's been no delay, so there was something, you know? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, why not leave a like, comment, or even subscribe. I want to thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you all in the next one.